Bendiciones. Alafia, everybody. We're going to talk about a topic that people often come to me with. And this is a question that a lot of people tend to ask me. And that is the difference between a return to sender and chaos work. All right. So people come to me often uh, and they ask the question about return to senders and chaos, right? And I find myself always explaining these differences. So I thought I would just bring it forth to everybody because I'm sure there's a lot of people who have this question. And so I can bring it forth from the aspect of a brujo that plays with both hands and really bring y'all the insight on what it is, you know. So let's start with returning to sender. When you're returning from sender, when you're returning to sender, you are simply giving back that of which they have given to you. Okay? That is what return to sender is in its simplicity. All right? And so when somebody has tried to attack you spiritually, you take what they have given to you, what they have given to you, and you return it back to them. And so whatever it is that they were intending for that work to have, whatever that effect is that they were intending for that work to have on you, is actually backfiring in their face and it's affecting them. Return to senders. I like to think of a return to sender as you tethering somebody to their work. You know what I'm saying? Where um like a tether ball that you would play in high school. You hit the ball, it go around the pole, then another person hit the ball, send it back to your ass, right? Sometimes the person on the other side, they can hit that ball a little bit harder and it can come at you a little bit more aggressively than how you sent it out. Some return to senders, can have more, some return to senders can have a more severe effect on the person that it got returned to than what it did on the initial target. Meaning, this person throws a curse to that person, but that person has a return to sender done. When that curse goes back to the original sender, it could wreak more havoc on that individual than it would have wreaked on the target. And there's a reason for that. Work plays out situationally a lot of times, right? And so who's to say that the person that's sending the curse wasn't already doing bad in life? Now, when that work got returned to him or her, it demolishes them. They get wrecked because they was already on their last leg and they had the nerve to curse somebody and got hit with a return to sender. Now you getting washed out. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Where the person that you was targeting, maybe their life was on a upswing, so you was gonna have to keep the work going consistently to break them down. But now when they sent it back to you, you all messed up in the game because your money was already funny, your stability was already shaky, right? And so the return to sender, it bombed on you. Bam. There's people who can do return to senders in a way that a person didn't have to curse you for it to affect. Okay. And this is where people are returning the energy that they're giving to you. This is what that type of return to sender looks like, where, okay, you at work, and at work you have all of these hating ass employees, right? And those people are like constantly sending you negativity. They constantly sending you negativity. They constantly doing things behind the scenes to try to get you caught up. Okay, so when the return to sender hit, they be the ones that end up getting caught up in one way or another. It could be at their job, it could be with their lover, it could be whatever. But that same energy that they're giving you is going to get returned to them in some way or another. A good practitioner, listen to what I'm telling y'all. A good practitioner, when they doing return to sender, whether somebody sent you curse or didn't send you curse, the people that are sending you bad energy, malediction, are going to be afflicted by it. And usually, more times than not, a return to sender is attached to some type of hex breaking ritual that you're doing. So usually when you see return to sender, it's coming with they breaking up whatever is there. If somebody didn't send a hex to you, that breaking up of a hexing ritual that you're doing, that banishing of that energy, is actually acting as a cleanse. So either way, the end result of what that is cleansing. This is what people got to understand about this type of work. Okay, because y'all get caught up in words and shit. Don't get caught up in words, all these words. Nah, get caught up on what is it accomplishing. For somebody to come in your life and pull a curse off of you that has a return to sender attached to that to send it back to the person that put it there, they're actually just cleansing you. But you calling it a removal. You feel me? But in actuality, it's a cleanse. It's just a cleanse that's dealing with something aggressive that they're pulling off of you to give to somebody else that sent it to you, right? So that's kind of how you want to think of that. Now, when you are looking at it from that aspect, you know, it gives you a better understanding of how that plays out in real time. This is what return to sender is. You went to the practitioner, and a person that's good with that stuff, it don't matter if somebody cursed you or didn't curse you. Because this is another thing people get caught up on. I want to know, did somebody curse me? Look, there's aspects where it didn't matter if somebody cursed you or not, because the malediction is so bad, they might as well have cursed you. You know what I'm saying? The work environment is so toxic that coworker might as well have cursed you. It don't matter. The person that you're going to, that you're saying it's a hex removal, it's really a cleansing. So whether they took a hex off of you or they took bad energy off of you, it did the same thing. So a good experienced practitioner knows that. They're not going to get caught up so much on these words and this. They know what they're doing. They know that at the end of the day, whether somebody cursed you or they didn't, there's so much toxicity attached to that situation that I'm just taking all of that shit off. And I'm giving it back to the people that put it on you in the first place. That's where the return to sender comes in. Okay? Now, this is just a Brujo's perspective. I've been doing this a long time. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this a long time. You know, I grew up around this since a child. So you gotta understand, like, I've been around. That's why today you see me come on social media and I dedicate YouTube basically to teaching spirituality. I have my mentorship where people can learn deeper. I have private things where people can come learn deeper, right? And then on another site like TikTok, you might just see me talking my opinion. Yeah, because spirituality is a part of my fiber. African spirituality is a part of my fiber, is a part of my being. It's what I wake up and breathe every day. And so within that paradigm, there's also other things in life, right? So that's where you get those dynamics. But I'm not a spring chicken. I didn't just come in this yesterday that I'm just so infatuated with every little bit of information that comes. It's a lot of information that has come to me this far in my life, okay? So that is return to sender from a Brujo's perspective. Now, let's talk about chaos. Chaos is different from a return to sender, although the same result in a way transpires. Because when the return to sender goes back to the people who gave it to you, chaos happens in their life, but it's different. A return to sender doesn't come back more aggressively because you swung the bat harder. The return to sender has the illusion of coming back more aggressively because the person that sent it may not have been right in their life in the first place when they sent the curse. Chaos is manufacturing a misfortune. Chaos is inviting the misfortune into somebody's life that may not have had misfortune going on in their life. This is the difference. With chaos, they didn't have to do anything to anybody. You sent that to them and you brought that into their life. That is chaos work. Chaos work is taking a person who had nothing to, who may not have cursed you, but for one reason or another, you want them handled. And so because you want them handled, you're manufacturing misfortune in their life and destruction. That is chaos. Chaos is you're sending a spirit in to do a job, to wreck shit with the sole intention of wrecking everything. Ain't no bring this back to the person that sent it to me. No, I'm bringing the shit to the person. That's chaos. Chaos is a totally different psychology than return to sender. Like, if you want somebody to feel the pain, you're not going to do a return to sender. A return to sender is just you slap the motherfucker back. It just so happened that maybe they super light skinned, so when you slap them back, it just left a big welt in the mark because they skin is sensitive and it's light. That's a return to sender. Return to sender is if Chris Rock would have slapped Will Smith back on that stage. That's a return to sender. When Will Smith smacked him, whap, Chris Rock would have slapped his ass right back. Boop. That's a return to sender. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. To create the chaos, that's a different psychology. So if you want somebody to suffer behind what they did to you, you're not going to come and say, I want to return to sender. Nah, return to sender is just like, I know that it's salt in the game going on, and I want this energy off of me, but I also want the person that sent it to hold that L. You know what I'm saying? So however that looks is however that look. maybe their life might just get minorly inconvenienced. Maybe it could spiral them down and get wrecked. But you're not really attached to so deeply the result of how the person that did it to you gets affected. Chaos, you got the intent of destruction. That's what you want to see 1,000%. You want to see that full out chaos happen to that person. You want to see them sink in life because you know who did it to you. You know who wronged you in one way or the other, and you want them to pay for that. It ain't no just give them back what they gave me. It's I want to see them broken down. That is chaos. That is very different psychology that comes with chaos work, you know. So you got to know what you asking for or what you want to happen. If you want to see your enemy suffer, then you want to make sure that you're putting in the bid for them to suffer, not just for them to get what they gave you. No, you want them to suffer. That is chaos work now. That is destruction work. That is retribution work. You understand? That's a very different thing. So realize these differences, you know, when you guys are out in the field looking for work, to get done for you, going to different spiritualists, because you got to know that if you want chaos, that means you targeting a person to bring that thing into their life, you know, and you're going to expect to see a certain result. Return to sender, you're not really expecting to see such a crazy thing pop off or not, because that is dependent on the person's situation that sent it to you. But chaos work, you are expecting without a shadow of a doubt to see this target go through some type of suffering. Without a shadow of a doubt, that's what you're paying for. A return to sender, you're paying to block a punch and throw a jab at the same time. A chaos working, you're throwing a knockout punch, a haymaker, you trying to knock somebody out. That's how you look at the two. Yes, do jabs knock people out sometimes? Yes, they do. And that's how some people be getting their ass knocked out from a damn return to sender. Because they ain't expect that jab. They threw a haymaker, you dipped, boop, you bopped him right quick in his jaw. He fell, he buckled. You ain't expect to knock him out though, because it was just a jab. That's return to sender. That is return to sender. Chaos is you went, you Mike Tyson them, pop, knocked your ass out. What you talking? That is chaos. Know the difference. Know the difference. And so with that said, I hope y'all enjoyed that little lesson. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Or double.